Today, we are diving deep into the story of the P-pop sensation BINI. And let me tell you, their journey is so much more than just catchy music. It's really a masterclass in resilience. A look at how a group of young dreamers had to endure some pretty immense pressure to finally earn their crowns.
You ever wonder about that? Is it just about raw talent, or is there something else at play? For BINI, the answer is found in a journey that really tested their limits, their resolve, and their bond with each other. It proves that true champions, well, they're forged in fire. Let's get into how they did it.
So, our story doesn't begin on some glamorous stage. No, it starts in a really intense, high-pressure environment that was specifically designed to create the next generation of superstars. This was their Crucible.
Back in 2018, the 8 members entered what's called the Star Hunt Academy. Now, you got to understand, this was not your typical talent show, not even close. It was a rigorous 3-year boot camp where raw potential was just systematically shaped into professional excellence, all under the guidance of top-tier Filipino and Korean coaches. And when I say rigorous, I really mean it. Their lives were completely re-engineered. Every single day was just this cycle of intense vocal training, grueling dance practice, workshops, strict fitness plans, you name it. They all lived together in a dorm, learning to navigate new personalities while also going to mandatory counseling just to handle the insane pressure. It was a total transformation, body and mind.
The physical and mental toll was absolutely extreme, and this next point really drives that home. The Academy's own director saw one of the members, Colet, collapse from sheer exhaustion and literally wondered if she could even make it through the training. This wasn't about glamour. This was about survival.
So just as they were enduring all these internal pressures of training, the world outside decided to throw 2 massive, unforeseen crises their way. These were challenges that threatened to just completely extinguish their dream before it even had a chance to start. Okay, just try to imagine this. You're a trainee, your entire future is tied to this major network. And then, suddenly, that network is shut down. That was their professional crisis. And at the exact same time, a global pandemic hits, which halts all their in-person training and basically locks them down. It was just a devastating 1-2 punch of complete and total uncertainty. And to really understand the human side of this, you just have to listen to this. The words from member Stacey here. They remind us that these were teenagers, you know? They were isolated from their families, just watching their dreams hang by a thread. The emotional and psychological weight of that period must have been absolutely immense. But what's truly remarkable, what really stands out, is the strength they showed during this time. Even while facing profound personal tragedy, with members like Jhoanna and Sheena grieving the loss of family members, they kept going. They continued to show up and train for a future that was completely up in the air. I mean, that is the very definition of resilience. So after surviving the Crucible and the crises, BINI didn't just emerge, they evolved. This next chapter is all about how they took control of their own story and found that unique sound that would come to define them. So after all those years of training, they finally officially debuted in June 2021. But what's really fascinating is the evolution that happened after they debuted. Their 2022 album, Feel Good, that marked a really critical turning point in their whole artistic journey.
Their debut single, Born to Win, was just this powerful statement. You could tell it was born from their struggles. It embodied this message of strength and confidence. It was basically their declaration to the world that they had not only survived, but they were now ready to conquer.
But, you know, real success often comes when you have the courage to pivot, and that's what they did. With their comeback single, Loggy, they embraced a brighter, more playful bubblegum pop sound. And this wasn't some departure from their core message, not at all. It was more like them finding their most authentic, joyful voice, and it was a sound that audiences just absolutely fell in love with.
And that brings us to the payoff, right? All the years of grueling work, all the heartbreak, all that uncertainty, it all led to this moment, their triumphant rise to the very, very top of the P-pop world.
This success was just undeniable, and you can measure it. In 2024, their hit song Pantrapoco skyrocketed to #1 on the Billboard Philippines chart. Now, this wasn't just a win, it was a mainstream coronation. It solidified their status as bona fide hitmakers. And the accolades just kept coming. In that same month, they were named the most streamed P-pop artist on Spotify in the Philippines. And a metric like that, it doesn't just show a fleeting hit. No, it shows a deep, consistent connection with a massive audience.
And their influence quickly broke past national borders. Their songs became these huge viral trends on TikTok, and they started earning praise from major international publications like Rolling Stone and Teen Vogue. They weren't just P-pop stars anymore.
They were becoming a global phenomenon.
So what was the secret? I mean, beyond the obvious talent and that really smart artistic pivot, it all comes down to this simple but incredibly powerful promise they made to each other. Walo hanggang dulo, which means 8 until the end. This unwavering commitment, this sisterhood that was forged in that crucible, that is the true foundation of everything they've achieved.
And that kind of leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? BINI's journey really forces us to ask what truly makes a champion. Is it the chart positions and the streaming numbers? Or is it the unbreakable bond that gets you through the fire in the first place? The promise that no matter what happens, there will be 8 of you until the very end.